Look, y'all, I got something I want to talk about. It's a video on Pop the Balloon that was done 2 months ago. There's a brother named Brian. He's from my hometown. And what I want, the main thing I want, now I know I want people probably gonna say, "Oh, he's just defending him because he's another man, or they from the same hometown." Well, in one sense, no, that's not the reason. I understand him more. The reason I say I understand him more because I'm originally with my family from my father's side. We're from New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely from New Orleans, and a lot of people talked bad. He said he got a book out called The Perfect Match. Kudos to you, brother. Shout out to you for those books. I wished I was able to get one. I probably I don't know. You just never know what life whatever. Because I like reading stuff like that. Um, what I want y'all to understand about my brother Brian, the people from us from Louisiana, from New Orleans, especially New Orleans, we're very out. We don't play. We speak our mind. We speak what's on my mind. That's all Brian was doing. Brian is a very genuine person. Brian just don't take shit off of, you know what I'm saying? But just because he don't take shit, that doesn't mean that he's incapable of loving his woman like the average guy would. He's just different. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that he is a he's they said that every time the little short skinny girl, I think she said, well, it seemed like you do have a problem with people's height and stuff is because obviously when people go to mention things about height, you get offended. No, he was not offended over height or nothing like that. And then they had another woman. I'm gonna compare this situation with that. She said that what's the difference between my fake eyelashes or something like that and my fake hair and all that. You don't like weave, but we don't like height. Look, what Brian is saying. The difference between the your weave, the weave, and the and the fake, I mean, a lash, you was not born with that with no weave in your hair. You was born with your natural hair. The weight, the difference between height, you was that's something you was born with. The difference between you born with a lot, with your height, you ain't got no control over it. Just like I have more hair around my face, right? So I don't have no control around it. The difference between nobody can debate me on this because this is something that I was born with. The weave is something that you was not born with. The weave was something that you added to yourself. You see what I'm saying? But the other woman, everybody want to say just because the brother Brian was was getting like was talking about the height and stuff like that, they want to say that he was offensive and he's that's showing a lack of insecurity. No, he's not insecure. He was just focused on all of them. They sit up there making a big deal out of height. You see what I'm saying and stuff like that, which I understand. People do have their preferences, but in my honest thoughts, sometimes I feel like people over preference things. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes I feel like we over generalize or over preference certain things. You see what I'm saying? But as far as with the height and all that type of stuff, what's the difference between somebody who's tall and what you the what's the difference between somebody tall and somebody that's short? Because you can find the tallest people and they can be the biggest demons or assholes you ever want to see on the planet. You see what I'm saying? So if you feel that a tall man can, a brother named by the name of J Love 47 said this years ago, women think that tall men can protect them, but you'll be surprised what a short man can do. You see what I'm saying? A short man can be just as it probably can be more faster and swifter than the one who's tall. You see what I'm saying? So when like I said, I understand we all have preferences. You know what I mean? I have preferences and stuff like that. But I think sometimes I think we can overdo these things. You see what I'm saying? But I think all what Brian was simply initiating is I'm not offended just because you see me hostile and I'm speaking in a certain tone and I'm talking about hype and stuff like that and I'm speaking in a certain tone. it sounds like I might be getting kind of offensive. It sounds like I'm insecure, but I'm not insecure. It's just that I'm just we talking it out. What's it when he said what is the fintech? The fascination with height, what is this and that and the third, and then they'll say they'll manipulate it by saying, oh, it's just a preference or whatever. I think sometimes people can overdo things, but no, he wasn't doing that. He wasn't offended over your height, nothing like that, things of that nature. He was just talking about the fascination of it, how people are fascinated over it, and things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? He wasn't sitting up there necessarily just talking about, oh, well, I'm being offensive about it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just because he spoke the way that he spoke, that doesn't mean that he's insecure. Let me say that again. Just because Brother Brian spoke the way that he did doesn't make him insecure because y'all mentioned height. It's just that, you know, we're from the same place, New Orleans. And we speak out because I know I'm like that too. But that doesn't mean that I'm incapable of being humble and loving my woman or whatever. But like if somebody say, well, I don't like the idea that you're too brown skin or you're too just a little too light or your hair is too dark or whatever, I'd be like, okay, all right. Now I'll challenge you now in saying it, but I'll do it like I'll say I will start off by like saying things like, well, I'm not trying to like be offensive. I don't want you to think I'm being offensive. I don't want you to think I'm insecure. But let's talk about that a minute. Let's break that down. You say you don't like my hair, right? Okay, what is it do? What is my hair has to do with me being treating you like a lady, being genuine, making sure you're good, um, making sure being loyal and all that type of stuff, being loyal. If something happened to you, I'm not saying, well, let me back up. Not something happened to you because I don't like using that word, but let's just say if you was down where you couldn't do anything, right? If something go down at the end of the day, he gonna love you whether you short or tall or whatever. It's not even about uh how short he is, how it's really about him being there for you. You see what I'm saying? If something go down, something happen to you or something, the most important thing is if you let's say if you're bedridden, you can't do nothing for yourself. That man is not gonna go out on you and cop out on you. He gonna be there. He gonna take care of you. He gonna be there with you as though you're not down. He gonna make sure you're good. He gonna make sure you got your water, your food. He's not gonna neglect you not one time. He gonna bring you with him everywhere he go. He's gonna make sure you're good. He gonna bring you to the store. He gonna if he have to whatever he need to do is to make sure he's there for you. He's gonna be there for you. You see what I'm saying? So I don't want people to misunderstand Brian or whatever, brother Brian or whatever. The wait a minute, I put dependent brother. Okay, let me go back and change that. Defending, my bad. This video is gonna go down for 1 minute, so I want y'all to hold on, hold tight. If you got to go and do something or whatever, you come back and watch it. This video gonna go dark within a matter of fact. I'll do it myself right here. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go and change that. Defending. That's what that was supposed to be. So hang on. Okay, hold on. All right, I'm back in here. Defending brother Brian on Pop the Balloon, meaning that it's not that he wasn't insecure. It's not that he was insecure. It's just that um he um he just wanted to understand because this has been going around and a lot of women do this. They have offense a fascination with height and stuff, and because the key word, this is what really got him. when Brian, I think when he was outspoken the way that he was and he was speaking, he spoke his mind because I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I'm guilty of it too. I speaks my mind, but it doesn't mean that I'm not incapable of being genuine to that woman or whatever. It doesn't mean that. So I don't want people to get it mixed up. It may sound like Brian is being rude. There's a scripture in First Corinthians, Second Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 4, I think it's 4. Though I be rude in speech, but yet not in knowledge. Sometimes we can be rude in our speech and in our knowledge and stuff like that, but we don't be meaning no harm. We just bold, we just passionate. Brian is just a passionate person the way that he is. When he speak and he's upfront and bold and he just speaks his mind, he's just passionate about what he's saying. That's all it is. It doesn't mean that he gonna sit up there and try to control the woman. And the reason I'm speaking, and I feel like I know him, even though I just seen him from YouTube videos and stuff like that, is because we came from the same place. Uh, in New Orleans. You see what I'm saying? And we just outspoken like that. We don't take no shit. But just because we don't take no shit, that doesn't mean that we're capable of abusing our women and stuff like that. We're not going to do that. We just outspoken. Brian will protect you. Yes, he will. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't mean that it's just Brian is Brian. You know what I mean? And that's the place that he's that's just his nature. He's that way by nature. So I guess a lot of people gonna say, "Oh well, I'm taking up for him and all that." No, I'm not taking up for him. I'm speaking up for him. I'm telling the truth because a lot of people when he was on the show, it's just a lot of people seem to just they just wanted him to sit there and be like this submissive person and just take it just because he didn't just like they probably used to a certain way of men walking okay, all right, okay, and going on. But when you sit there and try to challenge it, I think that's where the problem come in at because it's irritating because a lot of people don't want you asking them questions and stuff like that. They just want you to just, okay, if I'm not attracted to you, boom, go on. But when you try to challenge it, I think that's where the line drawn in it. I think that's where the problem came in at. And that's probably why I believe, in my honest opinion, that most women have a problem with that. When a man challenges their situation, they feel like, oh, he's supposed to be the man, and he's supposed to like, oh, you supposed to take it. You the man. You the rough. You know what I'm saying? No, or something. No, you know what I mean? A man has feelings too. You know what I mean? We have emotion. We just, of course, we know how to control our emotion. We like, man, forget that because we ain't gonna sit there and like that. I don't like men that argue with women. No, Brian was not arguing with the woman. Brian was sitting there speaking his mind or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So it's like what they really saying is, you mean to tell me I can't defend myself? You mean to tell me I can't express how I feel as a man? You mean to tell me just because I'm speaking and I'm outspoken like this here, I don't have a right to do so? I'm emotional. I'm less than a man. I'm incapable of loving this woman. You're going to get scared. And that's what the other woman, the last woman, said on the end. She said, I'm getting nervous. I'm getting fringy and I'm getting this. And then tried to ease a little you. What's this word she eased in here? Oh, well, you are, I like the outfit you got on, but you just said, oh, you making me nervous. You making me this and you making me that. You making me this and that and the third. Like a man ain't supposed to have feelings. Hell, a man got feelings too. We ain't made out no motherfucking iron. you know? We not made out no goddamn iron. Shit. So I'm just here to speak up of the video is entitled Brother Defending Brother Brian on Pop the Balloon. Defending Brother Brian on Pop the Balloon, because we from the same place. We from the same hometown. We don't take no shit. Now, just because we don't take no shit, that doesn't mean that we won't humble ourselves and love our women. Oh, absolutely. I'm a family person, and if I had a woman, yeah, hell yeah, I take care of a woman. Just because I speak out and I speak my mind, that doesn't mean that I'm being disrespectful or nothing like that. No, it doesn't mean that I'm being disrespectful in any ways. None of that. It just means that I speaks my mind, and the I'm gonna be very protective if I need to. Yeah. So that's all it is. If I left anything out, I'll just come back and address it in another video. I think, matter of fact, I'm gonna do another video on defending Brother Brian and Pop excuse me, defending Brother Brian on Pop the Balloon. I think I'll come back. But it's just me just speaking up for the brother. That's all. Just try to understand him, y'all. Just try to understand Brian, understand his place where he come from. So we came from the same place, like I said. Hold on, let me get this here. I don't want nothing to burn up here. Look like it was. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see if it's talking. Hold on. Boy, it don't take long for this shit to stick to the. Dang. It does not take long. I should have took. Yeah. I'll be back, y'all.